Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Sara English. I'm Sarah, and I'm so happy you decided to spend some time with us today.
And I'm Mike. Whether you're listening at home, driving to work, taking a walk, or relaxing after a busy day, thank you for joining us.
We always imagine our listeners in different parts of the world, learning English one conversation at a time.
And wherever you are, we hope you feel comfortable, relaxed, and ready to enjoy some natural English together.
Today, we're talking about something that almost everyone experiences at some point in life.
We're going to talk about the fear of public speaking and how we can become more confident when speaking in front of other people.
Don't worry if this topic feels personal. Many people feel nervous when they have to speak in public.
In fact, some people say they are more afraid of speaking in front of a group than almost anything else. That may sound surprising, but it shows how common this fear really is.
As always, we'll use clear, natural English that is suitable for B1 to C1 learners.
Our goal is not only to teach vocabulary, but also to help you enjoy listening to real conversations.
And remember, you don't need to understand every single word.
Just relax, follow the ideas, and let your English improve naturally over time.
Before we begin, we'd like to ask you a simple question.
Think about this while you listen. Have you ever felt nervous before speaking in front of other people?
Maybe it happened at school during a presentation.
Maybe it happened during a meeting at work.
Maybe someone asked you to introduce yourself in English, and suddenly your mind became completely empty.
Or maybe you've never spoken to a large group, but just imagining it makes your heart beat faster.
Whatever your experience is, you're definitely not alone.
And today we want to explore why this fear happens and what we can do about it.
Mike, let me ask you something.
Sure, go ahead.
Have you always been comfortable speaking in front of people?
Oh, not at all. When I was younger, I was incredibly shy.
Really? That surprises me because you sound very relaxed now.
That's only because you didn't know me back then. If my teacher asked me to read one paragraph in class, I immediately felt nervous.
What happened?
My hands became cold, my voice became quiet, and I felt like everyone was looking only at me.
I think many listeners know exactly that feeling.
Yes, even though nobody was trying to make me feel uncomfortable, it felt like every small mistake was huge.
Did you ever forget what you wanted to say?
Many times. Sometimes I knew the answer perfectly, but when everyone looked at me, my brain suddenly stopped working.
That makes me laugh. I think our brains have a strange sense of humor sometimes.
They really do.
I had a similar experience when I was at university.
What happened?
I had to give a short presentation that was only 5 minutes long.
5 minutes doesn't sound too difficult.
That's what I thought too. I prepared everything, practiced several times, and even timed myself.
So everything should have gone perfectly.
Well, not exactly.
Oh no.
The moment I stood in front of the class, my mouth became dry, and suddenly I couldn't remember the first sentence.
That happens more often than people realize.
I stood there smiling for what felt like 1 minute, but it was probably only 5 seconds.
5 seconds can feel very long when everyone is waiting.
Exactly. Eventually, I remembered my introduction, and after 1 or 2 minutes, I actually started enjoying the presentation.
That's something very interesting.
What do you mean?
Many people believe the fear lasts during the whole presentation.
But often, the hardest part is simply the beginning.
Yes, those first 30 seconds or first minute can feel difficult, but after that, many people become much more comfortable.
That makes sense, because our body begins to relax once we realize that everything is okay.
Exactly. Our imagination often creates a bigger problem than reality.
Let's explain something important before we continue.
Good idea.
When we say public speaking, many people imagine standing on a huge stage with hundreds of people watching.
But public speaking can actually happen in many different situations.
For example, introducing yourself to a new class.
Giving your opinion during a meeting.
explaining an idea to your coworkers,
speaking at a family celebration,
answering questions during a job interview.
or even making a short video for social media.
All of these situations involve speaking while other people are listening.
So public speaking is much more common than many people think.
Why do you think so many people become nervous?
I think one reason is that we worry too much about making mistakes.
Yes, we imagine people judging every word we say.
But when you think about your own life, do you judge every small mistake another person makes?
Honestly, no.
Me neither.
Usually, I'm listening to their ideas, not counting their mistakes.
Exactly. Most people are much kinder than the voice inside our own head.
That inner voice can be very critical.
It says things like, "You'll forget everything," or "Everyone will laugh at you."
But those thoughts are predictions, not facts.
That's a very important difference.
Sometimes our mind tries to protect us from embarrassment.
The problem is that it protects us by making us avoid situations that could actually help us grow.
So if we avoid speaking every time we feel nervous, we never give ourselves the chance to become more confident.
Confidence usually comes after experience, not before it.
I really like that sentence.
Me too, because it reminds us that nobody starts as a confident speaker.
Every confident speaker was once a beginner, and every beginner has the opportunity to improve by practicing one small step at a time.
One thing that helped me understand public speaking better was realizing that confidence is not something you suddenly wake up with one morning.
That's true. Many people think confident speakers are simply born that way, but in most cases, confidence is built through practice and experience.
It grows little by little, almost like learning any other skill.
Exactly. If you want to become a better swimmer, you have to spend time in the water. If you want to become a better speaker, you have to spend time speaking.
It sounds simple, but many people skip that part because they wait until they feel completely ready.
And the funny thing is that feeling completely ready rarely happens.
Yes, sometimes we tell ourselves, next month I'll be more confident.
Or, I'll wait until I know everything.
But confidence usually comes after action, not before it.
That's why small opportunities are so valuable.
What kind of opportunities do you mean?
They don't have to be big presentations. They can be very ordinary moments.
Like asking a question during a class.
Or sharing one idea during a meeting.
Even introducing yourself to someone new can be useful practice.
Every time you speak, you teach your brain that this situation is safe.
I like that idea because many people think practice only means standing on a stage.
Not at all. Practice can happen almost anywhere.
Sometimes people ask me how they can improve their speaking confidence at home.
That's a great question because not everyone has a large audience available.
One simple exercise is talking to yourself while doing everyday activities.
Some people might think that sounds strange.
Maybe a little, but it actually works very well.
For example, while making breakfast, you can describe what you're doing.
You might say, now I'm making coffee. I'm cutting some fruit. Today I have an important meeting.
The goal isn't to sound perfect.
The goal is simply becoming comfortable hearing your own voice.
That's an important point because many people dislike hearing themselves speak.
I remember the first time I listened to a recording of my own voice.
Let me guess, you didn't enjoy it.
Not at all. I thought, do I really sound like that?
Almost everyone has that reaction.
Yes, but after listening several times, I became used to it.
And that's another example of practice changing how we feel.
Recording yourself can actually be a very useful exercise.
You don't even need expensive equipment.
A simple phone is enough.
You can choose any topic you enjoy and speak for 1 or 2 minutes.
Then listen to the recording with curiosity instead of criticism.
That's an important difference.
Instead of asking, was I terrible?
Ask, what did I do well and what can I improve next time?
That way, you're learning instead of judging yourself.
Another mistake many people make is trying to speak too quickly.
Yes, they believe fast speaking sounds more confident.
But speaking too fast often creates more mistakes and more stress.
A calm speaker usually sounds more confident than a rushed speaker.
That's because a slower pace gives both the speaker and the listeners more time.
It also gives your brain a chance to organize your next idea.
Silence isn't always a problem,
I think many learners are afraid of short pauses.
but experienced speakers use pauses all the time.
A short pause can make your message clearer.
It also gives your audience a chance to think about what you just said.
So if you forget a word, you don't have to panic.
You can simply pause, take a breath, and continue.
Most people won't even notice.
And if they do notice, they probably won't care.
Another helpful idea is to focus on your message instead of yourself.
What do you mean by that?
Many nervous speakers keep asking themselves questions like, do I look nervous? Or what are people thinking about me?
Those questions make us pay attention to ourselves instead of our audience.
Exactly.
Instead, we can ask, how can I help the people listening?
That's a completely different way of thinking.
Imagine you're explaining something useful to a friend.
Suddenly, the situation feels much more natural.
Because your goal changes.
You're no longer trying to impress everyone.
You're simply trying to communicate clearly.
That small change in mindset can reduce a lot of pressure.
Speaking of pressure, let's talk about perfection.
Ah, yes. Perfection can be a dangerous goal.
Many people believe they must speak without making a single mistake.
But even experienced speakers forget words sometimes.
They might lose their place, pronounce something incorrectly, or need to repeat an idea.
And usually the audience doesn't mind.
In fact, small imperfections often make a speaker seem more human.
That's true, because people connect with real people, not perfect robots.
I once forgot an important word during a presentation.
What did you do?
I smiled and said, well, my brain decided to take a short vacation.
That's a great way to handle it.
Everyone laughed, I laughed too, and then I continued speaking.
So the mistake actually helped people relax.
Exactly. Sometimes our reaction to a mistake is more important than the mistake itself.
That reminds me of another useful habit.
Which one?
Before speaking, instead of imagining everything going wrong, try imagining yourself finishing successfully.
That's a simple form of visualization.
You picture yourself speaking calmly, smiling naturally, and finishing with confidence.
Our imagination can create fear, but it can also create encouragement.
We just have to choose which picture we feed our minds more often.
Little by little, those positive experiences and positive expectations begin changing the way we see ourselves as speakers.
One of the most interesting things about becoming a better public speaker is that the biggest change often happens inside your mind before anyone else notices it.
Yes, because speaking confidently is not only about using your voice, it is also about trusting yourself a little more every time you stand up and speak.
That trust grows slowly, and that is completely normal.
We often celebrate big achievements, but small victories are just as important.
For example, maybe today you spoke during a meeting even though you felt nervous.
Or maybe you asked a question in class instead of staying silent.
Those moments may seem small, but they are real progress.
Every time you choose courage instead of avoiding the situation, you become a little stronger.
Mike, do you think people should compare themselves with confident speakers they see online?
Personally, I don't think that's very helpful.
Why not?
Because we usually see the finished result, not the years of practice behind it.
That's true. We see someone giving an excellent presentation, but we don't see the first presentations where they were probably nervous too.
Everyone has a beginning, even if we never get to see it.
So maybe the best comparison is with yourself.
Exactly. Ask yourself, am I a little more confident than I was last month?
That's a much healthier question.
Improvement doesn't always happen quickly, but if you keep practicing, you will notice changes.
Sometimes the changes are so gradual that you don't even realize they are happening, until one day someone says, "You sounded really confident today."
And you think,
Really? I was still nervous.
That's because confidence doesn't mean the absence of nervousness.
That's an important idea.
Confident speakers still feel nervous sometimes. The difference is that they don't let that feeling stop them.
So courage is acting even when you feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. Let's talk about one more common fear.
The fear of making mistakes?
Yes.
Especially for English learners, this fear can become very strong.
Many learners worry about pronunciation. Others worry about grammar. Some people are afraid they'll forget a word.
But communication is much bigger than perfect grammar.
People usually remember how clearly you shared your idea, not whether you used every tense perfectly.
In fact, if you listen carefully to native speakers, you'll notice they sometimes correct themselves too.
They pause, restart a sentence, or choose another word.
That's simply part of natural conversation.
So don't expect yourself to sound like a textbook. Aim to sound real.
Real people pause.
Real people smile.
Real people occasionally forget words.
And real people continue speaking anyway.
That's what matters most.
Before we finish, let's review some useful vocabulary from today's conversation.
Great idea.
The first word is confidence.
Confidence means believing in your own ability even if you still feel a little nervous.
Next is audience.
An audience is the group of people who are listening to a speaker.
Another useful word is presentation.
A presentation is a talk where you explain information or ideas to other people.
We also use the word visualization.
Visualization means imagining yourself successfully doing something before it happens.
Another important word is mindset.
Mindset is the way you think about challenges, learning, and yourself.
We also talked about progress.
Progress means improving little by little over time.
Another useful word is encouragement.
Encouragement is something that gives you hope, confidence, or motivation to continue.
Finally, we used the word courage.
Courage is choosing to act even when you feel afraid.
These are all words you can use not only in English, but also in your everyday life.
Try making your own sentences with them after this episode.
Before we say goodbye, we'd like you to think about one simple question.
What is one speaking situation that you've been avoiding because of fear?
Maybe it's introducing yourself in English.
Maybe it's asking a question during class.
Maybe it's sharing your opinion during a meeting.
Whatever it is, don't think about doing it perfectly.
Think about taking one small step toward it.
That step might be practicing for 5 minutes,
It might be recording yourself once.
or simply raising your hand one time instead of staying quiet.
Small actions repeated many times create lasting confidence.
Remember, your voice deserves to be heard.
Your ideas have value.
And every time you choose to speak, you're giving yourself another chance to grow.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, we'd love to hear from you in the comments.
Tell us where you're listening from and answer this question. What is one small thing you'll do this week to become a more confident speaker?
Reading your comments always reminds us that our listeners come from many different countries, but we're all learning together.
Every conversation, every mistake, and every small success is part of the journey.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and remember that confidence is built one conversation at a time.
Take care of yourself, keep believing in your progress, and we'll talk again very soon.
See you in the next episode of Talk Sara English.